we'll get started. So just start making yourself comfortable. Okay. Welcome to your Thursday morning yoga practice. We're going to go ahead and start with our opening meditation, just taking a few moments to clear out anything that we're carrying into our practice today. So just notice the energy in your body. Notice what's sticking in your mind. Maybe you had to rush around to get here. Maybe you had a busy morning. Maybe you're recovering from a stressful day yesterday. Or maybe you have some exciting news, things you're looking forward to. But for right now, just go ahead and let that all go. And there'll be time to deal with all those things after practice. But right now, it will cause no harm to just let it go and let yourself be here in this present moment. So just imagine almost like any extra energy that you're carrying, you can just brush it off your shoulder. Just imagine like dust just flying off of you, leaving you just as you are, without the effects of the days gone by or the worries of the days that might come. Just let it all wash away right now. Even maybe closing your eyes and imagining sitting in the rain, and just let it wash over you, cleansing you of any negativity or even just excess energy that's keeping you from this moment, and allow yourself to just be you here as you are. As you close your eyes and imagine sitting out in the rain, imagine the way it feels. It feels cool and refreshing. Imagine the way it smells, the way the air and the earth smell on a rainy day, that fresh scent. Imagine the way it sounds, the raindrops against the leaves, the ground. And just take a deep breath in and a big sigh, let it all out. And again, breathe in and out. Once more, inhale deep. Hold at the top and exhale. Now just scanning through your body, noticing how you're starting your practice. Notice if there's any areas of tension. Notice if there's any fidgetiness or anxiousness, moving around, wiggling the fingers, the toes, without judgment or thinking of any of your findings as good or bad. Just notice them so that you know how you're starting today, so that you know what you have to work with. Notice where your tension might be held, maybe in the jaw or the shoulders, maybe the hips. Maybe you're squeezing the chest or the stomach. Notice areas that you normally find to be tight that maybe aren't today. And just take a moment to feel grateful for that. Maybe even just smiling to yourself. And then just setting an intention for today's practice, reminding yourself why you're here. You might be looking to release tension, to get a nice relaxing stretch. Maybe you're looking to challenge yourself today. You may be looking for more peace of mind, to get in touch with your breath perhaps, or to just set yourself up for a successful day and weekend ahead. Just set your intention, hold it in your mind for a moment, and then just let it go and let it come to you naturally within the flow of your class. When you're ready, we'll inhale, grow the spine up tall, Back of the neck is flat, chin tucks in slightly. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale, ear over shoulder. Exhale, down through center. Inhale, up to the opposite side. Match your breath, just gently warming up the shoulders. Use this little exercise each class just to bring yourself into that meditative state. Inhale up, exhale down. Start to let the shoulders soften. The spine is straight, shoulders right over the hips. The head is heavy. And notice how that feels today. Is there any extra tension anywhere? Is it a little bit easier than usual? If at any point during your practice you feel pain, just back up out of the exercise or out of the pose. Some of the poses might be uncomfortable, but you should never be feeling pain. You don't want to do anything that's going to cause damage to your body. So just honor where you're at today. And if you're feeling really tight in an area, you don't even have to do a full side to side. Maybe you just go one side and then slightly over, just as much as you can today. If it feels good, maybe you hold in a certain spot to release the tension there. Maybe you do a few full circles, bringing the head to the back. Just customize the exercise to fit what you need today. Inhale up, exhale down. Working to deepen the breath as we start with our warm-ups. Inhale up, exhale down. Maybe the eyes close softly. Just notice how the feeling changes as you go through. Maybe it starts to get a little bit easier. Maybe not. Just keep an open mind. And again, don't label your findings as good or bad. Just notice. Your observations help to keep you present and in the moment that's happening now. When you're ready, come to chin to chest. Hold for a couple of breaths. Be sure the shoulders aren't rounding forward with you. Shoulders are over the hips, just the head is heavy. Maybe you add a hand to the back of the head to deepen the stretch, whatever feels good to you. Take your time. When you get to your next inhale, just bring the gaze to center. Exhale, drop the hands to the sides. Inhale, sweep the hands up, grow the spine tall. Exhale, the hands come to the heart. Repeat this a few more times. Match your breath, stretching the spine on the inhale. Exhale, just relaxing into your practice, dropping into this moment. Shoulders stay soft for all of this. Even as we're lifting our fingers, we're not lifting our shoulders. Shoulders stay down. A few more times, just match your breath. Don't worry about matching me or anyone else. Inhale is to come up. Exhale is to come down. We'll start warming up the chest and shoulders a little bit, getting into the spine. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus. Bring the elbows down almost behind you. So just so you get a good stretch through the front of the body. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll do a couple together and then you can just go at your own pace. So inhale up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. And then you can just flow with your breath. Go at your speed. Inhale is up. Exhale is cactus. Inhale is up. Exhale is hands to heart. Several more times. Great, let's do one more like this. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale up. Exhale, come to a twist, reaching across for the opposite knee. You can do either side, it's fine. I'm reaching my left hand to my right knee. The gaze will go over the back shoulder. If that's comfortable for you, just taking a minute to wring out the spine, getting rid of any toxins or negative energy being held there, just like you would wring out a rag, bringing out the extra water or soap. The right hand can just rest. You can wrap it behind your back. Maybe you hold on to the back of the chair, whatever feels good, whatever helps enhance your practice. Breathing deep here. And inhale, we'll come back to center, sweep the arms up. Exhale, other side, same thing. So my right hand is going to my left knee. Right hand can wrap behind your back, or you can hold on to the chair. Gaze goes over the back shoulder so that you're twisting all the way into the base of the skull. Great. Hold and breathe. Deep breath. Maybe finding a focal point over your shoulder, something nice to look at to keep you grounded, something to observe and appreciate. One more inhale. Exhale, back to center. We're going to do the twist again. We're just going to go side to side, one breath each. So the same thing we just did, except a little bit quicker. So dropping the hands. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Match your breath. Your inhale carries you up. Exhale carries you down. You can go at your own speed. Couple more times. Finish the set you're on. We'll come to center, placing the fingers together, pointer fingers up. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, grow tall. Exhale over to the side. It doesn't matter which side. We're just going to go side to side. Let's do a couple breaths here to start. So trying to just keep the shoulders soft, even here. Try to keep the top shoulder from collapsing forward. Heart stays open. And inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. Stretching through the ribs, around the shoulders. This feels so nice. Inhale, center. Side to side at your own pace. Exhale brings you down. Inhale brings you up. Use the movement to connect with your breath. Allowing the breath to continue to deepen. Complete one more in each direction. Take your time. When you're finished, you can just bring your hands to your heart center. Taking your time, drop the hands, inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to the knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, start to fold forward, just coming down. So you can stay on your elbows, resting on your knees. You can reach all the way down for your ankles or the floor, whatever feels best to you. You can keep the head supported, just looking straight or at the ground, or to deepen the stretch, you can just let your head fall and get a great stretch through the backs of the shoulders that way. So just do whatever feels comfortable to you here. And then we're just gonna hold and breathe for a little bit. Getting into the hips, as well as the shoulders. Maybe you add in some small movements as you hold. Maybe it feels good to kind of move the neck side to side, maybe wiggling the hips around, and just moving the body in your pose. Or maybe you're comfortable in stillness today. Just notice the energy you're carrying and see what your body needs. Breathing deep. Maybe you close the eyes, or maybe you observe what you're seeing on the floor. Again, not to come to any conclusions about anything, but just using your observations to help keep you present. So maybe just taking in the texture, color, patterns of the floor. Maybe looking down at your feet, to your socks. Just observing. Observe what you feel as you hold the stretch. Notice where you feel ease. Notice where you feel resistance. Notice the breath and how it changes throughout your practice. Just keep bringing yourself back to your breath. We'll take one more inhale. Exhale slowly, start to come up. Back to seated. Great. We'll come forward on the chair a little bit so that we can come into camel pose. You can stay facing the front. I'm going to turn just so you can see what I'm doing with my hands in the back. So start with the hands on the low back for your camel. Bring the elbows towards each other, shoulders towards each other. Let the heart open towards the ceiling. And you can go ahead and lift the chin if you want to, or you can keep the head neutral, whatever feels the best. If you would like to come into the full pose from here, just place one hand and then the other down on the seat of the chair, pressing the hands into the chair to lift the heart forward more. So I'm wearing the same color as my chair. Hopefully you can see what my hands are doing. So I'm just pressing down. And breathe into the chest, expand the heart as you inhale, relax as you exhale. If this is too intense, you can always come back to hands on the low back. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Great. So you can wiggle the shoulders, just relax from that, do whatever feels good. And then we're gonna flow with those two poses, forward fold and camel. So we'll inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, hands to the knees. Inhale, tall. Exhale, fold. One inhale. Exhale, rise up. Inhale, tall. Exhale, camel pose. One big inhale. Exhale, release. Hands down by your sides. Couple more times. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to the knees. Inhale, tall. Exhale, fold forward. One inhale here. Exhale, rise up. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, camel. One inhale. Exhale, release. Drop the hands. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to the knees. Inhale, tall. Exhale, fold. Let the breath carry you from pose to pose. One inhale. Exhale to rise up. Inhale. Exhale, camel. One breath here. Exhale, hands down by your sides. Once more. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to the knees. Inhale, tall. Exhale, fold. One breath, inhale. Exhale, rise. Inhale. Exhale, camel. Breathe in. Exhale, relax, hands down by your sides. This time, inhale, hands sweep up. Exhale, just bring the hands to the heart. Great. Go ahead and relax the shoulders, relax the neck. All right, from here, let's start in pigeon. So I'm going to start with my right leg on top. So in pigeon, you can bring your ankle up to your knee if that's available to you, or you can just cross the ankles down at the floor. We're just going to do some hip stretches here in this pose. So pick your version that you like. And then come back to sitting up tall. So we adjusted on the chair to fit our camel pose. If you want to sit back, you can do that. So shoulders over the hips. Inhale, grow the top of the head up. Exhale, fold. Just folding over that straight leg, that bent leg, sorry. And then just breathe here. So you can go as low as you like. If you want to work your way down over time, you can. You can stay here for a bit and then start to reach more towards the floor. We're just really trying to stretch out through the back of the hip. Again, you can keep the head supported or you can let it drop, whatever feels best to you. It's great to stretch for the back of the shoulders if you let the head drop. Just breathe. Again, observe the stretch. Notice where you're feeling ease. Notice where you're feeling resistance. Notice if you need to back off at all, if you went too intense, or maybe you can try to go deeper after a few seconds. Breathe. Just releasing all the stress from the hips. Keeping the shoulders soft, so you might be in a position where you're leaning on your elbows. Try not to let the shoulders come up to the ears. Relax. Let yourself be as soft as possible in this pose. Just scan through the body as you hold and ask yourself, where can I relax a little bit more? Can I deepen the breath a little bit more? Couple more breaths. One more inhale. Exhale will start to come up. Great. So we're going to take that top leg and shoot it out to the side. So I'll tip the camera so you can see what my feet are doing. Okay. So you're going to have one leg open, toes pointing forward, one knee coming straight to the front. Hopefully you can see that okay. My pants are also the same color as my chair, but right leg is straight, toes pointing forward. Left leg is bent straight ahead. So some side stretches here. We'll inhale, bring the hands up. Exhale, come down over the straight leg, one hand down. So my right hand. Inhale up and exhale over. So you're just coming to the side over your straight leg. Breathe here. So you're pressing the hip down into the chair and pulling that top arm away, creating that rainbow curve through the side of the body. You can even use this hand to press into the stretch even more. Just try not to put any pressure on your knee here with your hands. Hold on maybe at your thigh, or if you can reach below the knee. We'll inhale back up. Exhale, drop the opposite hand. For me, that's the left hand. Inhale, reach tall. And exhale over to the opposite side. This time trying to keep a straight line through the side of the body. So from the heel down up to the fingertips, it's a straight diagonal line. Couple breaths. And inhale back to center. Exhale, drop the hands. Great. We'll go a little quicker, side to side, one breath each direction. So we'll inhale, hands up. And then let's just go right over. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale, other way. So you can go at your own speed or you can stick with me. Inhale is up. Exhale is over. When you're over the straight leg, you're trying to round the body. Inhale. When you're over the side where your leg isn't, you're going to flatten out the side of the body. Couple more times. Inhale is up. Exhale is over. Great. Finish the set you're on, and then we'll just rest with the hands at the heart. Great. All right. From here, let's go ahead and we're going to stand and we're going to do a triangle pose. So let's stand right up. We'll keep the feet wide. We'll take these toes and open them to point that way. So your left foot is open, your right toes are pointing forward still. Now, if you need to, you can sit back down and just turn the knee forward and do this in the chair if you have a hard time with balance. Otherwise, we'll inhale, open the arms. Exhale, reach over and then down towards the leg. So you're reaching straight up to the sky and holding on to the leg for support. So again, don't rest right on your knee. And if you're able to, you can also arrange the chair so you can lean on the chair too, if that's easier. Just try to make sure your shoulders are right over each other. If you're leaning forward a lot, you might want to come up a little bit more out of it. So just hold. For me, this feels amazing on the low back right now. One more inhale. Exhale, go ahead and rise up. Great, just drop the hands, turn the toes back to the front, and we'll sit back down on the chair. Feet together, and then we're gonna come into pigeon on the other side. So for me, it's my left leg on top this time, either crossing the ankles or the ankle on top of the knee. Take your time setting up. Hips tilt forward slightly so you're not leaning backwards at all. Inhale, tall. Exhale, melt forward. Just let yourself relax into it. It might feel different on this side. It might feel exactly the same. So just keep an open mind. And again, don't attach to your findings or worry about coming to any conclusions. Just observe so that you're able to honor your body the way that this side needs to be. And then just breathe. What are you using to bring your mind back to you today? Maybe you're focusing on deepening your breath when you notice your mind is starting to crowd up. Maybe you're just observing the body in the pose. Maybe you're using your observations, the things you see and feel, just to keep you grounded. Just holding here. Changing the pose up at any time if you need to, adjusting, deepening, coming up out of it. And breathe. Being sure we're not feeling any pain at any points. Maybe some discomfort. This can be a big stretch for the hip. So just be really gentle. We'll take one more inhale. Exhale, slowly start to rise up. Great, you can relax the shoulders if you need to. And then same thing, we'll go ahead and shoot that top leg, the left leg, out to the side. The right leg comes straight forward. So the toes on the left leg are pointing to the front. And then the knee comes straight out. Make yourself comfortable. When you're ready, we'll do one set slow before we go side to side. So inhale, hands come up. Exhale, left arm down. Inhale, tall. Exhale, over. So we're going over the straight leg. Really rounding through the side of the body, creating space around the ribs. Great. Breathe. Maybe even visualize the tension just leaving the body. Inhale, come up tall. Exhale, opposite hand down. Inhale, tall. Exhale, coming down, creating a straight line from the fingers to the toes. So I have my left hand up, leaning towards the right side. And when you're ready, inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to the heart. Great. We're just going to go side to side. So match your breath. Take your time. When you go over your straight leg, you're rounding through the body. When you go over your bent leg, you're flattening through the side of the body. So you can just, if you're having trouble remembering which is which, you can always go at my pace, or you can do your own thing. So when you're ready, inhale, hands up. And then exhale over the straight leg. Inhale up. Exhale, straightening out. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale is up. And exhale is down. Let's do one more each direction. Just match your breath. Returning back to center eventually. Exhale, hands come to the hearts. We're going to stand for triangle pose next. So you can stay here for this if you want to. Otherwise, it's the bent leg, this right leg, that's going to open when you stand. So stand up and turn the right toes open to the side. Left toes are pointing straight ahead. Arms open, inhale. Exhale, you can start to tip down into your triangle. So maybe using the chair to help you, whatever feels the best. Trying to get the body flat so you're not leaning forward too much. The shoulders are one on top of the other. Breathing here. One more inhale. Exhale, come up. Great. Let's drop the hands. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, we're going to sit back down in the chair. We're going to work our way to a goddess pose so the knees are open. Great. We'll do some cactus in our goddess pose next. So we'll drop our hands. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, up. Exhale to the heart. You can go at your own pace. Just let the breath carry you. Great. Finish the set you're on. Then when you're ready, we'll inhale the hands up. Exhale, hands to the thighs. Fingers are in the front and thumbs are in the back. Elbows point out away from you. We're gonna just do a shoulder stretch. So inhale here. Exhale, drop the left shoulder forward and then bring your chin over towards that left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, right shoulder, just coming forward. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Great. Back and forth. Finish one more set. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Then we'll inhale to center together. Great. Exhale, drop the hands. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Great. We'll go ahead and just bring the knees together, and you can wiggle the hips around a little bit. Just get a nice release. Relax the shoulders. Let's do a few of our ankle exercises actually. So just go ahead and start to circle the feet. You can flex and point. Just do any organic movements that feel good to you. You can do one foot and then the other. You can do both at the same time. Great. And then we'll do the same thing with our wrists. Both directions. And let's do a few shoulder circles as well. Up and around, nice and gentle. So when you go down, not pressing too hard. And reverse direction. Great. And a quick neck stretch before we stand. So inhale tall. Exhale, tip the head to one side and hold. Maybe add the hands on top of the head if you want to. Great. Release the hand. Inhale, tall. Exhale, other side. Feeling a little extra tight today with the weather being so nice and then cooling down back and forth. So just notice those types of things affect the body sometimes. Notice how you're feeling today. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop the hands. Inhale to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Great. Let's turn to face the chair and we'll do some cat-cow. So come into your table pose. So you want your hands under your wrists and your feet under your hips. And then when you're ready, you can start your cat-cow. So inhale is arch, exhale is round. So go at your own pace, match your breath. This is also, it's good for the spine and the shoulders, but since we're standing on our feet instead of on our hands and knees like we would be doing, it's also a good hamstring stretch. So if you need to bend your knees a little bit, that's totally fine. And if this is not comfortable for your hands, you can always do this on fists too instead. But just be sure you're really spreading out your fingers if you're doing it on hands and pressing into the pointer and the thumb just so that you're not putting all of the weight in your wrists. And then you can just kind of wiggle around in your table pose. Do what feels good to you here. Maybe wiggling the hips or the shoulders, maybe circling. Great. And then bending the knees, we'll come to stand. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a moment here, just a quiet moment. A lot of movement in today's practice, so just take a moment of stillness in between. Observe how you're feeling. Notice if anything has changed. Notice the breath. Observe without judgments. If the mind has wandered, it loves to do that, so don't be harsh on yourself if it has. That's very normal. Just pick something that works for you to bring it back. Maybe your breath, maybe the poses, maybe your observations of what's happening now. And then go ahead and drop the hands. We're gonna come and get ready for our tree pose. So you can stand behind the chair so you can use it for balance if that's best for you. And then just work your way into a mountain pose. I'll just stand in front of the chair so you can see me. But you are welcome to use the chair to hold on to for balance. You can have it next to you or in front of you, whatever you like. So we'll have the shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles all aligned. Take your time to just adjust yourself. And then go ahead, get in touch with your breath. So start from a strong base. You want your feet relaxed into the ground. Press the feet down. Stomach and chest are soft. You're breathing deep. And then if it helps you, go ahead and just pick something to look at that's eye level. So whatever you're looking at, make sure it's not causing your head to tip down. Keep your chin parallel to the ground. So just decide what that thing is going to be that's eye level that you can see. And then anytime you notice your chin tipping forward, bring yourself back to whatever that focal point is. So you're welcome to just kickstand your feet by coming in to open this one knee and keep the foot on the floor. That is still tree pose. You can also bring your foot up to your ankle, your shin, or all the way to your thigh. Make sure you're not pressing on your knee with your foot. Just find a tree pose that works for you today. And you can keep one hand on the chair, maybe do one hand at the heart, one hand reaching up. Maybe you try for two hands up off the chair. Lots of different variations of this pose. So you might pick a different variation from week to week. So just keep an open mind. The one that worked for you last week might not work for you today, and that's okay. Just pick a different version or try it again. And if you fall out and need to try again, just remember to revisit your mountain pose first. Identify your focal point and then work your way up. We have plenty of time to play around here, so you can take your time coming in and out, trying different things, maybe moving the arms around, whatever feels good to you. Nice and strong in your tree pose, gazing straight ahead. And you are welcome to stay for as long as you like. We're going to start to transition to the other side. No rush. Take your time. Relax the feet, maybe lift one heel at a time. And then find your mountain pose once again. So even though you know exactly where we're going, take your time getting there. Find your alignment. Relax in the chest and the stomach. And then gradually start to work your way up. So you might be different on both sides, or you might not. Just find a version of tree pose that you like today. Holding onto the chair in front of you or beside you. Two hands, one hand. Maybe testing your balance. Remember to press down into your toes and keep your gaze straight ahead. Look at that focal point and breathe. If you fall, take your time to revisit your mountain pose. Don't feel like you have to rush back up. Breathing, a couple more breaths here. So you do have time if you need to try again, or if you want to try a different hand position. And if you've just found a position you're comfortable in, just stay and breathe. You can imagine yourself again like a tree out in the rain, just letting the rain wash over you, renewing your energy. No rush at all. We're going to start working our way down. Take your time. And then just relax through the feet. Great. We'll drop the hands. Inhale, hands come up overhead. Just like we did when we started class, we're going to interlace the fingers, pointers up. Exhale, just coming over to the right, stretching through the side of the body. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Inhale, center. I'm getting all tangled in my Christmas garland hanging from the ceiling. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands to the heart. Extending the arms out to the side. We're just going to wrap the arms up for eagle arms. So just keeping the feet flat on the ground. We'll do the right arm underneath first. So you cross the elbows, bend till the palms face away from each other, and then touch the backs of the hands together or wrap all the way around. Lift the elbows, keep the gaze forward, just stretching through the back of the body. Great. Now we're going to come down through chair pose. If you have sensitive knees, you can just hold this stretch. Otherwise, we're going to inhale here. Exhale, coming down slowly into the chair. Make sure it's behind you where you think it is before you sit. And then keeping the hands in eagle, we're going to come back up. So we'll inhale up. Exhale, hold. We'll do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale, coming through your chair pose. Nice and controlled. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, release the stretch. We'll just repeat that same thing with the left elbow underneath. So go ahead, cross the elbows, left elbow on the bottom, bend, palms face away from each other. Touch the backs of the hands together or wrap. Lift the elbows. Breathe here, just hold for a couple seconds. Looking straight ahead. Make sure the chair is where you think it is. Inhale tall. Exhale slowly and controlled, coming to sit. And inhale, coming back up. Exhale down. And inhale up. Last time. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, unwind. And just let the shoulders relax. Great. All right. Go ahead and make yourself comfortable in your chair. We're going to start slowing things down and preparing for our meditation. So find a comfortable spot for your hands. Palms up represents receiving. Palms down represents grounding. Hands together represents comfort. So whatever you feel you need today, just go ahead and make yourself comfortable there. And then go ahead and close your eyes as long as that's comfortable for you. And take another quiet moment. Go within and just observe what feels different. If anything, maybe you feel very similar to how you started class. But revisit those areas where you were feeling tension. Revisit the areas that had fidgety or nervous excess energy. And just see how they've changed, if at all. Remember, always keeping an open mind with your findings. Notice your breath. What is the state of your breath right now? Are you breathing fast or slow? Deep or shallow? Even or uneven? Let's take 3 deep breaths here. So just invite the breath deep into your stomach. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Releasing control of the breath. Let it flow. Notice where it goes when you are not controlling it. Just let it come in and out as it wants to. Just let yourself start to melt into the chair. Really just letting the chair support you. Scanning through the body, noticing if you can soften or relax a little bit more in any area. Maybe the shoulders are ever so slightly lifting. Maybe the hips are ever so slightly tightening. Maybe the toes are a little wiggly. Maybe the back teeth are touching. Take your time to allow everything to soften. Is your stomach expanding as you inhale? Is your chest rising? Or are you constricting the breath? Allow for that movement. Allow yourself to be completely relaxed here. If you haven't already, go ahead and close your eyes. Revisiting our meditation from the start of class. You're sitting in the rain. It feels cool and refreshing on the skin. It's taking away anything negative or anything that's just not beneficial that you've been carrying around, either in your mind, your emotions, maybe the physical body, maybe both. Maybe just excess energy that's not really doing you any good. Just let it wash away in the rain. Washing down, out of the body, onto the earth. Soaking up into the earth. Leaving you feeling refreshed and cleansed. Imagine the smell of the rain. Imagine the sound of the rain against the leaves, against the ground. As it washes away everything that's weighing you down, anything that's keeping you from being your happiest or your best. It's disappearing now. Imagine yourself standing in the rain, looking so peaceful, so refreshed, so relaxed. And then just imagine going into your home, drying off with a soft towel, and maybe starting to prepare a warm cup of coffee or tea to warm you up after being out in the rain. Imagine curling up in a comfortable chair, maybe with a blanket, and your warm drink that you've just made. And you just feel so much better after allowing the rain to cleanse and refresh you. Imagine sitting by the window maybe, listening to the rain, feeling so grateful in your heart for the experience, and the way you feel now. Go within your body and find the most peaceful spot. Maybe in the feet, maybe a content feeling in the stomach. Just allow it to spread throughout the entire body, allowing you to melt into your chair where you are now. Continuing to hold on to this feeling, we're going to rest quietly for a minute in meditation. Enjoy your rest. I'll call you back into the room when it's time. Slowly start to wiggle the toes and fingers, the hands and feet, letting it grow into the arms and legs and anywhere that feels comfortable for you, just to bring some energy and movement back into the body. Maybe a full body stretch. And then when you're ready, sit up tall in your chair. We'll take one final sun breath together. Inhale, the hands sweep up. Exhale, the hands to the heart. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me.